Existence is non-linear. They say the Dubai Eye is the largest Ferris wheel in the world. I wonder if I rotate on the smallest. Below me, I see muddied pastures of land trodden beneath roaming feet. Up here, all the little pinheads are carried by Lowry-esque stick figures. Or at least that is how all those folk look down there on the ground. Fuck Lowry. Like a dreamland of mine, I return each time to the Ferris wheel. By night I ride, and a gorgeous creature rides beside me, but I'll never know who he is. Slip rings circular, electrode signalling, each conducted by the rotation of the wheel. When the lights bounce toward the nearest point of our carriage, it lights up, sparks. But I still couldn't tell you who this man is who sits beside me, or the wanton need I feel to stride him, legs akimbo, a vision of me when blonde and young and maybe fuckable. When I ride the wheel, and ride the guy, I'm fuckable. In all our mucky, hazy, delusional, hallucinatory fantasies, we are incredibly fuckable. I'm fuckable, and he's fuckable, but I still can't describe you his fuckable face. The neon lights, and disco lights, and party hues, and fairground sights seem present, but yet far away. I don't feel a voyeur, or voyeured. As him and I ride, and we exist as part of this countryside patch of land, yet we are still worlds away, you see. An English country town, with foggy patches beyond the oak, frozen patches of crunchy grass, full moon clear, with electric blue skies, and we exist here, yet exist somewhere else simultaneously. Because in Dubai, the eye is cooked under incandescent suns, and the metal warps in the afternoon torrid climes. And there, it is oppressive and stifling. But this man by my side takes my breath in frozen England, just the same as he would in parching Dubai. I taste him, both here and there. He is peppery in any vicinity. And we freeze in a field in England. Our teeth chatter just the same in New York. We are delirious, so delirious in an Arabian summer heat. We dance butt naked alone on Avebury Stone, wrinkled tiny penises from the chill, and we dance the same dance in Death Valley. Huge, flaccid, relaxed cocks are flapping in Shoshan. I peek out from a prickly cactus. You slide out from behind a Neolithic stone. I'm large, you are small. We giggle, we hold hands, dance, and then swap places. You are large, I'm small now. We chortle, but when we taste them, they'll both surely grow. The most obscure things come to mind as the Ferris wheel reaches the midway point of its rotation. We've already been across continents and back again, love. Love. That's a funny little four-letter word. It is a less amusing human obsession. All roads of human experience lead back to the same cobbled street. Love. Love, love, love. I love you. Love of my life. You are the one I fell in love with. Love you. I love you. I loathe you. I love you too. Love, love, love. Love you, sweetie. Love you, baby. Love you, honey. Love you, treacle. Love you always. Love, love, love. A mother's love, a father's love, a friendly love, a sibling love, human love, love thy neighbour, platonic love, fuckable love, 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 love. I love you to the moon and back, yet still he could punch me in the eye. Love. That is a funny kind of four-letter word, a less hysterical kind of obsession. All those Neanderthals creating symbols of love, not led by chemicals, and for around 30,000 years we humans interbred in an overlap, led to our niphandral pairings by our weakness to the dopamine. Was it love? Love, love, love? The brightest blessing of humankind, yet deceitful in disguise? Genghis Khan and Kubla Khan, Annie Oakley, Poison Ivy, Lady Godiva, William Shakespeare, Joan of Arc, Stalin, Dickens, Nightingale, Hindley, Warno's, Bidgood, Darwin, Jobs. The line between love and hate, between rich and poor, between sex and sexless, evil and honourable, love and hate. Julius Caesar, Benjamin Disraeli, Mary Queen of Scots, Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, Mahatma Gandhi, Ronald Reagan, Thatcher, Lenin, Allan Poe, Michelangelo, Earhart, Ramirez, Pot, Plato. I think of all these people, and how they've looked to me. How do we look upon a lit-up pedestal of a Ferris wheel, feeling like we ride between galaxies, yet we are nowhere near those stars. They below will judge us, as we judge them from above, as we've judged the ones who came before, as our ancestors will judge us too. Judgment. I judge you, and you judge me. My judgment is often a reflection of myself, as is yours of me. We point a mirror and scream that the peasant before us see themselves as nude as nature, but we dare not point that reflection our own way. Our judgment disguises our own insecurity. We are all beyond wildly traumatized. He slides a bony hand upon my thigh, and as he moves it into position, I feel a tickle as electric as penetration. Faceless knows the intimate personal place in which to place his hand. That fairground harmony distracts me from my thoughts. It is probably best. I'm catatonic with endless streams of nonsensical notions running through my mind, of which I couldn't give you or him anything more than hypothesis. We are all so imperfect, aren't we? So grotesque to all but the person who dares to slide between our legs and drink us. It comes back to interpretation once more. They call me filthy. I don't see it. I see nature and nudity, fluorescent auras, and this deep, unwavering passion for doing everything the way I want. But I'm tarnished too, touched and deflowered time and time again. But it wasn't my intention to be so easy. I have loved 100 times and would love 100 times more. It is the convictions of my intentions to be free and wild, raw and unabashed. I can't remove the mucky halo around my skull, now thick with violent thorns. From angelic, the world has turned me into a strumpet, a doxied lover obtained time and time once more. That's how they see it, but I reject their tarty slangs. I am a free man, naked and insane, full up on existence, my joy de verve. From the Ferris wheel I yearn to run bare butt naked through the woodland I see on the horizon. I'll startle deer, foxes, and all types of fauna, stirring it from relaxation, so I can selfishly relish in the movement of these creatures. He, bony fingers, will chase me down and throw me to the earth, straddling me with his lily-white frost-bitten skin, and we will awaken like the woods. Can't you see that I am an advocate of nature? I advocate for all of nature, and I advocate for your unadorned, sublime, nude nature. I am a protester for your right to be all and everything you can be. By my advocation for you guys, I simultaneously advocate for me. Will you relent when judgment becomes too harsh? Transcendental soul and all other recondite knowledge? I chatter with all the ghosts of the paranormal, and I give fair chance to all paragons of virtue, because I know that to be a lie. As such, all so-called angels and fiends I welcome in, welcoming into my embrace so that we can find common understanding. I'll talk to God and I'll sit with Lucifer, knowing that I can learn from both. It is bestowed to them, the great rule of judgment, and how they judge me is how I will judge them. There is a chance for all, and a chance for me, a chance to have a little understanding. O wicked ones, the holy ones, let's love not war as we dance forth. It is a cold war, baby, and it is only getting colder. Hug the bare skin of the one you desire the most, so you can feel some heat in this otherwise frosty world. They are drifting us so far away from peace that we can only urge our neighbours to create peace, however they can find it, a peace, meditative, sensual, seductive, spiritual peace, baby, peace. The Cold War is frozen ice. The tune of tradition continues to whir in time with the rotation, so many hues of so many colours restoring peace once more. How can this Ferris wheel create such infantile regression? I am stroppy, yet happy, impatient, yet patient, and all is a dreamland tonight. Even though we have caught the last piss-laden Ferris wheel carriage, I care not. The hand on my leg is warm, my heat is hot, the air is cold, and it stinks. But perfection can often be acquired in imperfection. It has to be, because perfection is delusion. Who flopped it out and left their waste-laden piss upon this floor? Metabolism. Piss. Regardless of this repugnant pissy perfume hovering up toward my nose, if I am to let this flawed side effect of reality bother my current reality, then I'll have no reality at all. It is piss. I'm sure of it. Pungent piss. But I'll focus on your erect nipples and darling touch in this moment. Everything is destroyed, but we place beauty within to dampen the strain. I caught the last piss-laden carriage, but I boarded it with you. Piss can wash away. This moment cannot. Love is love, and I could fuck 1,000 times in all its carnal forms. When I was 14 years old, a mother, not mine, barred us boys from going upstairs on our own. Maybe she'd worry I'd get her son pregnant. We made a picnic and went out onto the grassy fields to eat. It was the first time I'd eaten cream cheese, and its texture was pretty obscure. I still eat cream cheese 2 decades later. We talked of how we'd defy the years and prove our romance was real. We talked of conversations of marriage in a time when that wasn't even legal. We had no money for gold rings or any other type of ring, so instead we marker-penned our names on sweatbands and swapped them. I would wear his name close to my veins on my wrist, an allegory maybe for the bloodline of love the band was protecting. We talked of innocence, futile plans, and the want to betray our folks' wishes. He picked up my camera and I stood atop the bar of a gate. I placed a flower behind my ear and looked longingly yonder afar. The electrical squeaked signalled a photo taken, and in time youth and innocence was captured, cream cheese sandwiches and first promises. These 2 decades later I feel nothing at all. Not love nor hate, not affection nor longing. We've all been on a long road since I was a child with a flower in my hair. Man has since waved its callous baton at me in repetition. I've devoured an equal amount of lustful batons. I am hated and despised, loved and cherished, and I can't be all facets of myself to everybody. I have to feel this disdain from others, and I have to feel this warm supervision from lovers. It is my calling, as it is yours, to be so many different portraits to so many different people. Humanity won't allow us to be humane, as evidenced time and time again. So count your chickens and collect them. Cover them from the arbitrary evil that surrounds us. To fight the hell of others, to resist it, is just futile. We build tribes. Tribes. From the village of an English gentry to the warriors of Papua New Guinea, we exist in tribes. From the inner city slums to the jungles of Peru, we are just tribes. The native males of tribes in Peru used to grab their rest in the men's houses, so many bodies in a big bundle, all men naked and like Jenga upon each other. I am both a saint and a whore, a sinner and a nun. We can exist in so many forms, none of us being truly linear. I am a contradiction, and wholly contrived. I know you to be, even though you don't think so, even though I don't know you. We are all contradictions. Talking of an imperfect being, judgmental though I and others often say we are not, don't get me started on Philistines. How one ignoramus could walk past a perfectly beautiful work of art and call it a fraud is beyond me. Imagine a life without art. Imagine something so beautiful or something so hideous, something so erotic or something so offensive, making you feel empty, feeling nothing at all, not one way or the other. I cast you out, Philistine, man who feels empty, man who cannot see the beautiful just below the etched-in marks of a pencil or the swift yet delicate swoosh of some brush. I cast you asunder, Philistine, who does not see the divine and revolting in everything. I turn away from you, Philistine, who wishes not to caress the edges both rough and smooth of an aging building constructed in all that is art by its very definition. I vehemently despise you, Philistine, who cannot see the art in my body, though scarred and haggard, as I entwine with another lover, creating paint with our bodies and fluids. Fucking Philistine. Sometimes the light of the wheel, it catches his eyes just at the right moment. What does he see? Does he see me? Through me? Beyond me? There are so many places I want to love in and be loved in. At the top of the wonder wheel on a stifling hot night in Coney Island. A waltz through that desert seeing all the stars and all the horizons under a sky unaffected by light pollution. I feel I've always been trying to create the right circumstances, but it doesn't look like it does on the screen, and I haven't felt as they did on the screen. A man once told me about Puzzlewood, an enchanted forest with twisty branches and a skyscraper trees in the Forest of Dean. That man and I played cat and mouse, always proposing pure romance and failing each time. He never did take me to the Forest of Dean, so I recreated it with another man, and I hated him so. In our living room we adorned the wall with an enlarged photo of us deep within the woods of Puzzlewood, fake smiles like all the other faked smiles. Everyone smiles for photos. I took the wrong guy. It wasn't our vision, wasn't our proposed backdrop of romance, and as the elements would have it, he smashed his fist through that very frame in a drunken stupor one night. At 17, Michael and I laid in the long grass under a summer sky, our background the ruined remains of Ridgemont Church, rumoured to have once been burned out by Satanist worshippers. Still, it was pretty. And it was enough for that day. 2 young men in summer with not a care in the world, but still, it wasn't the romance I'd been dreaming of. The moment still wouldn't hit quite the right spot. You serial monogamist, you dirty wench. No one thinks you an illustrious lover or an eminent romantic writer. Maybe more just a nympho skank who pales at creating a mystique. But I promise you I'm not the hussy I sound. I've tried and tried for this love, tried to form an exquisite union that made me attractive and exotic. But allure has never stayed around long enough. Not my allure nor yours. It is also complicated for us all, and even more complex for those who dream on and never stop trying to find something more. An escapade, a crusade, a lover's romp. When I was 23, a boy wanted me to fly to Philadelphia, and he promised me no gold. But he did promise to keep me most safe, to keep me captured in his embrace. And he loved me. All of my yearning for a precarious loving had come slamming down before me, threatening to hit the ground running and cause fault lines in the concrete. The ground promised to swallow us whole, and I've got to admit, the idea of the city, the USA, the thrill of it all was a total turn-on. Someone frighteningly loving had challenged me, and guess what? I ran. Fake. He's a fake. He's a fraud. We had to wait. We had to save. He wanted to make everything just right for us. But time is nobody's friend, and I'm always ill at ease, time and time again, wondering what I'd miss. If I was a fantasist, he was a dreamer, and he dreamed me into exile. I guess what I'm getting at here is, we are all not linear. Potentially all a fraud. I'd waited for him forever, my equivalent lover, but the man down the motorway who promised to break my heart won the battle. How masochistic. When I was 25, I lost my way. Gone was my first true love, the heartbreaker, the one I had truly wanted when compared to the lovers before. And naturally, he was the one set on breaking me. Broken and disillusioned, I danced a tango with a man who had been sent to destroy me, and I knew his intention. He did destroy me, and for a while I told myself he would save me, that I was decoupage, and he'd glue little wisps of paper all over me, covering up the cracks so painfully visible. Like a ball and chain, complete with gag he tamed me, after he finished his unloving sodomy and turned over to rest, still stinking of rum. I cried silently for all the real love lost. I cried for broken motorway lovers, lost somewhere in England's garden, for the city dweller returned home to New Jersey from Philly, for all the innocence of dreaming and youth. If I could clearly make out his face, would he be recognizable? He still touches my thigh, and I still expel plumes of cold winter breath into the frosty air. We are past halfway on the circuit, and as we move downward, people start to seem not so small, and in contrast, I don't feel so tall. Why do I hear the shrieking from the ride nearby that spins people around, up and down, and requires an over-the-shoulder harness? Why is this Ferris wheel empty but for us? Does this old contraption offer no excitement for thrill-seekers? I guess it doesn't. Do I sit on it because I've mellowed? Does the extreme G-force and twists and turns no longer grab me? Is its movements far too unpredictable, when maybe all I want is to know the exact direction of where I'm going? Upon this Ferris wheel, the route is predictable by design. When they open the gate to the piss-laden carriage, will I ever want to step off, or will I toss the guy a few more quid to keep me going round? This is a cage of fluorescent lighting, and up there it makes me feel a certain vigour. If I grew wings and the gate fell open up there at the very top, would I fly out across the towns and woodlands, or would I stay in the cage? The cage is small. The carriage holds no thrill, but it is predictable. Maybe he and I would be safe here, and certain about the direction we are headed in. Existence, as I say, is non-linear. But do we eventually give up and submit to the known? But that known familiar place, that safe place, the predictability, I pretend I desire it, but then can't deny the overwhelming depression that straddles me and captures me from all sides. The depression of stagnation, the gloomy monstrosity of realization that potentially there are no more surprises left to come. I can't commit to something so horrible, surely. My body hasn't disappeared. My desires don't desire to evade lust and adventure, the romantic longing, the wild ride, the titillation. Even if I am no longer a young man, I want to touch my body all the same, and know my sex, my worth, my intimacy. You see, this Ferris wheel rotation is predictable, but what I do in this high carriage is full of possibilities. I can gaze longingly into his eyes and seductively promise him all the futures he deeply needs, or I can suck his cock. How disgusting you feel as you hear my words and screw up your prudish face. But the head I give him means I'm present, that I'm alive, that I dare dream and act. It isn't merely a suck-off at the fairground. It is existence. His existence, my existence, on a strike head-on collision course. The piss my knees kneel in, keep me present. The man beside me, before me, he keeps me present. And the bodies we share encapsulate a moment in time, real human-to-human contact. With this act, we'll then step off this contraption and walk across the towns and frost-bitten grass, onward to the hazardous sweltering desert. We will comb the earth in search of living, and walk it hand in hand.